Hi folks, so the question we have in front of us here today, guys, is from the DCG workbook on the section C of the paper, and it's actually page 4 in that workbook, and we're doing sheet 4 profiles. Okay, I've done in a previous video on profiles, okay, so a lot of this stuff should be repetition to you, but what they've done on this question, or on this sheet, is they've asked us a number of questions, and then they've also given us as a number of scenarios. Okay, so we're going to read the first one and we'll get started. It says, question 1, the map shows ground contours at 10 metre intervals, so 80, 70, 60, we can see the gap is 10. On map, draw a vertical section profile along the line AB. Okay, so whatever profile it is here along the line AB, we can see our scale is 1 is to 1000, so straight away we know 1 millimeter, on the page, so I'll put in on PG, is equal to 1000 millimeters. In reality, we know the gap between our contour lines is 10 meters, so 1000 millimeters is 1 meter, so I want to make that up to 10 millimeters. It means I have to multiply it by 10, therefore I have 10 millimeters is to 10,000. Okay, therefore our measurement that we're going to be using is 10 millimeters. Okay, so that's the first bit worked out. And then it says the valley contains a lake. Draw a line on the profile to indicate the surface of the water when the lake is 15 meters deep. Okay, so we'll start with the profile and then we'll do the lake. Okay, so what's our smallest measurements here on the contours? It's 40. Okay, so in that case then, I'm just thinking if I have 10, it's 40 up to 80. I'll see if I have the distances here. So I'm just going to measure up in 10 millimeter gaps. So 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80. Yeah, I actually have it there, perfect. So I'm just going to put in my kind of guide contour lines here. Okay, these are all construction lines. And then finally up to 80. Put in my marks there then. So I'll keep this one as the 30, and then this one here is going to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so at this point now, most people should know kind of how to do this if you've seen the first video. Basically, where our contour lines cross over our profile line, which is A to B, as if we were to do a cut section down through it, a vertical cutting section. Our profiles are basically, so our profile is going to be where our contour lines pass that. So we can see here, this one here at this point is going to be on the 70, because we can see it's on the 70 contour line. This it's 80, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 40, and we can see it's working its way back up. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to speed up the video there now, and I'm going to sketch in that profile. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, guys, that is the profile of the kind of mountainous region, or whatever region we have, along the line AB there. And we can see over here in this section that it only went up to the 70 mark there and there, even though we had 80 contours here, but they stayed inside here and they're outside of our vertical profile that was cut through it. So now at this point it's asking us on the second part, the valley contains a lake. Draw a line on the profile to indicate the surface of the water when the lake is 15 meters deep. So we can see where the valley is in here, okay? So you can see it there. And obviously from the bottom of the valley, we know it's 15 meters up, and we know that 1 meter is equal to 1 millimeter. So 15 meters is going to equal to 15 millimeters. So simply there, from the bottom of the valley, right there, you can see where my 0 is on it. I'm going to measure up 15 millimeters. So there's my 15. And what I'm going to do now is do in a horizontal line, left to right, and that there is essentially my lake. Okay, 15 millimeters, that's where the water would sit in. So I've measured up there just to show you. Don't have to put this in, but I've measured it from here. Now you might wonder why I measured from just underneath my kind of contour line there, as you can see, okay, in the 40. I've done that because technically when there was 2 marks on the 40, I'd imagine as it was going down it was going to dip a little bit before it came back up, okay. So there's our 15 meter depth, and that is the question complete there, guys. Hope you found that helpful. We'll move on to the next one now here at the bottom of the page, or sorry, in the middle of the page. Right, so the next question, guys, we have here is question 2, and it says the map shows ground contours at 5 meter intervals. On the map, draw a vertical section profile along the line AB. Okay, so we know how to do that, 5 meter intervals, so we can see it's 50 to 55 to 60 and so on, and our scale is 1:1000. So as always, 1 millimeter on map or on page, whatever you want to call it, is equal to 1000 millimeters in reality. Let's put in real there. Okay, so 1 millimeter on the page is equal to 1000 millimeters in reality. We want to work up to 5 meters because that's the distance. So what do I need to multiply this by? 1000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. Multiply it by 5. So if I multiply this by 5, I have to multiply this by 5. So we know 5 millimeters is equal to 5000 millimeters. Another word for that, or sorry, another way of saying that would be 5 meters. So therefore 5 millimeters is going to be what we're using here to do our vertical profile. And then the second part, it says an observation tower will be placed at X. What is the minimum height of this tower if it must be seen from B? Okay, so we'll do the profile first and we'll get on to the second part there again, okay? So for the profile, kind of like the last question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up, okay, and put in, and just check here what's my lowest measurement. So 35, 40, 45, 50, 35 is my smallest. And I'm measuring up in 5 millimeters, and my highest is up to 75. So I'm actually going to start, I'm just thinking now, so I'll do 5s there and just see for a second. So 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Yeah, you just fit in there. What I'll actually do is I'll keep it down here. I'm just thinking, no, I'll put it up there, so that's grand. Okay, so just trying to keep it neat and tidy. So putting in my contour line heights all the way across my page, left to right. There's quite a lot in this one. Okay, there we have it. So this is 30, this is going to be 35, 40, 45, 50. Try and do your writing maybe a little bit neater than I am. 60, 65, 70, and then up to 75. Right. So using those, we've done this previously now. So basically, wherever our contour lines cross through the line A to B, I'm going to plot those points up here. So for this one, it's 50. So I'll be going vertically up from this one. So for the 50, I'm going up to the 50 line. Just make sure I get the right one. So if that's the 50, the next one's going to be up to the 55. Just make sure. Yeah, I'm happy with that, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video there now. Okay guys, so there we have it. That is the profile along the line A to B. Okay, so as you can see here, there was quite a big gap between the two 35 meter contour marks, okay, from here to here. But once again, as we're going down, I'm going to assume that it's going to always dip a little bit before the contour before it comes back up, okay? So that's just drawing it in there. Now, the next part of the question, it says, an observation tower will be placed at X. what is the minimum height of this tower if it is to be seen from B? Okay, so I'm actually going to put this in with a marker. It might go up into my kind of drawing here, guys, so apologies for that. I put it in with green first, or sorry, with red first. I'll actually go green. So from X, I'm going to draw in an observation tower. So that's where it's going to start, from X, which is technically right here on the profile. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in an observation tower. So drawn up there with green. And what we want to do is, where it says here, what is the minimum height of this tower if it must be seen from B? So for B to see it, okay, I'd have to do a line of sight. If you imagine we were at B here, so this is B there, I'll write that in. Okay, and what I'd have to do is, looking above the mountain, so obviously I'm looking uphill, and from B I'd have to have a line of sight that is just basically tangential to the top of the mountain so that I could see the tower. Therefore, as I drew that line in all the way along there, that's the exact height that the tower would have to be for me to see the top of it. Okay, so what I'll do there, I know it's gone up into my writing there, but I'll just put it in as a marker. So right up to there, and there you have it. That is the maximum height. And what you could do then is, because we know our scale is every 1 millimeter is equal to a meter, I could then, I'll just put it in with this, I could measure that. So it's from X, it's from there. So in this case, it's telling me that it is 25, 26, between 26 and 27 meters is what I'm guessing. Okay, not guessing, but kind of estimating that distance to there is between 26 and 27. Okay, so I'm going to write that in there. Write it in 26/27 meters. Okay, that would be the maximum height of my tower that I would need to be seen from B. Okay, hope you found that helpful, guys. Now we are going to move on to the last question at the very bottom of the page. Okay, right folks, so the last question on this page, at the bottom of the page here, it says the map shows ground contours at 10 meter intervals. Our scale is 1:1000. Okay, so I think we should be getting the hang of it now at this stage, but therefore 1 millimeter on the page is equal to 1000 millimeters, and that's reality. And the gaps between our contours is 10 meters. Okay, so therefore to work up to 10 millimeters, or sorry, 10 meters here, multiply this by 10, which means I multiply this by 10. So 10 millimeters on our page is equal to 10,000 millimeters in reality, and we know that's equal to 10 meters. Okay, so our magic number then is obviously 10 for doing our profile. On the map, draw a vertical section profile along the line AB, so we know how to do that. And then it says a 50 meter high wind turbine is placed on the profile at position, or at point Z. Okay, can this be seen from X? And then a second turbine, also 50 meters in height, is placed at point Y. And can this be seen from X? Okay, so we have to do the profile before we can get onto that part. So once again, I'm going to start the profile. I can see my highest number on my contours is 80, and my lowest, I think, is, just looking along it, yeah, is 30. So I'm going to start then by just first of all measuring out my tens. So going up to 80, so that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, that'll all fit in fine. Just fix that one there. Okay, so drawing in my profiles, or my contours essentially. Make sure they go over far enough. So over to about there. So there you have it, guys. That is our contours. I'm going to mark them in now, and I said the base one or the lowest one was 30, so I'll put that there. You could start here, it'd be absolutely fine. 40, 50, 60, 70, up to 80. And we know what to do here, guys, so I'm just going to speed up the video there. Right folks, there we have it. That is the profile completed along the line AB. Now what we have to do is work on this last little part here, okay? So it says a 50 meter high wind turbine is placed on the profile at point Z, okay? At point Z or Z. So we can see point Z is here, so right there. And what we're asking is for a 50 meter turbine, can this be seen from X? Okay, so I'm just going to mark my points. So I've got X right here, okay, and then I've also got Z or Z right here, and we know we're going to need one in a minute for Y as well, which is right there. Okay, and what we have to do is we have to do a 50 meter high turbine. So from Z, I'm going to measure up 50 millimeters because I know 1 millimeter is equal to 1 meter in our scale, which is up here. So from there, I'm going to measure up 50 millimeters. I'm drawing my turbine up to there. I'll heavy that in. So that distance from there up to right there is 50 millimeters. And the question is, can that be seen from X? So what we'll do now is up to the top of it, I'll connect X through it. And looking at that, we can see that the mountain is in the way of it, okay? So therefore we can't see it. So I'll just say can't see from Z, okay? Okay. Now the next part is from Y. We have to do the exact same thing. A second turbine, also 50 in height from Y. So I'm going to measure up 50 from Y there. And once again, 50 millimeters, marking up to the 7 in this case. Hopefully my sketch is good because I assume we can see it from here. So from Y, that's 50 millimeters up to there. Okay, just to show you there. Sorry, my visualizer is just slightly in the way there. But from Y, if I continue that over, we can see it's up to the 50 mark. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is once again connect that to X, and hopefully we can see it. Yes, there we can. We can see that it does clear the mountain in this case based on my profile that I did. So we can see that it does clear. So therefore from Y, yes, we can see. Can see. I should have said can see X from Z. Can see X from Y. Okay. Just in these questions, guys, they kind of throw some kind of like real world problems there for you. So obviously if we were building a wind turbine and we wanted to put it in a position that could be seen from X, therefore obviously we know the best position will be in position Y in comparison to position Z, okay? And obviously then the further up the mountain, it obviously makes it more obvious that you would be able to see it even better, okay? Hope you found those questions helpful, guys. That is the last bits there on vertical profiles. Okay.